성공을 향해 가는 채널.
But after the deprivation period goes on, your brain gets completely locked into the things that are beneficial for you.
알렉스 베커는 24살에 사업을 시작해서 지금은 매해 수백만 달러를 벌고 있죠. 어떻게 그는 어린 나이에 성공을 할 수 있었을까요? 자수성가를 한 그가 자신의 성공 비법을 알려줍니다.
So what is nightmare mode? Well, it basically involves self-deprivation to some extent, but the main reason why I think it's a good thing but is not enough is because the way that your brain essentially works is the way you move forward in life is through dopamine. It's what moves you and makes you go and move forward. And the way your brain works is it's basically a 1 or a 0. So if you do something that triggers a 1 in your head, your brain's going to tell you to do more of it. Say, this is a great thing to do. If you trigger a 0, which is pain, your brain's going to say, don't do this anymore. For example, many of you can probably remember when you were a kid that reading a book was actually pretty easy. Now it's extremely difficult because every time we log on to Facebook, every time we're jumping into a video game, every time we drink a beer, we're getting ones that are so much easier to achieve and at such a more intense level that reading a book becomes painful, becomes a 0. Knowing that, what I do and what I'm cycling back into is what I like to call nightmare mode.
쉽게 얻은 강력한 도파민 때문에 정작 중요한 일에는 집중을 못하죠. 그럼 어떻게 해야 정상으로 돌아갈까요?
Cutting off every source of dopamine that isn't related to your goals, because the way your brain works is it's going to compound things in your head that you're focused on. So for example, if I play Super Smash Bros for a weekend, I'm going to get so many ones. And so when I'm in the shower, when I'm going to bed, when I'm walking around, my brain's going to be computing the best ways to pull off my Zero Suit Samus combo. Even when you're not thinking about it, your brain subconsciously is going to be working out these puzzles. And that's really bad. That's why nightmare mode I don't think is essential to be successful, but it definitely puts you on steroids for a period of time. And so what it does when you remove all these things from it, your brain doesn't have any source of dopamine. And what's going to happen is it becomes very sensitive to dopamine. So for example, when you're using Facebook, you're getting blasted with artificial amounts of dopamine that no human was ever meant to experience. When you remove this from yourself, you start going back into your base where things that are actually really beneficial become extremely interesting. So think back to maybe like caveman times. There was really no way to trigger dopamine besides getting social recognition and working on something and achieving something. There really wasn't any way to entertain yourself. But after the deprivation period goes on, your brain gets completely locked into the things that are beneficial for you. And the reason why I want to do that right now, because I want to have complete control over myself. The more things you let into your life, you're going to find that the more things you let into your life. For example, if you start playing video games, you're probably going to start drinking again. If you start drinking again, you're probably going to start watching TV. If you start watching TV, you're probably going to start dropping a lot of your productive habits. It all goes in a chain. And you really have to pull that chain back in. And once you get the chain pulled back in, it becomes a lot easier to manage. When I actually tried it out, it helped me out a whole lot. So here's basically how it works. You basically avoid every source of dopamine that doesn't relate to your most beneficial thing. For me, it's my work and what I'm doing.
자신의 성공에만 집중하고 싶다면 불필요한 자극을 피하세요. 당신이 원하는 일에만 집중한다면 빠른 성공을 이룰 수 있습니다.